Good morning and welcome to this week's Get Hooked on Strategy with me, LT. And last week, this is the weekly check-in where we are trying to make strategy a habit and not a chore. So we're going on the 11th week, coming up into the first quarter, and time to start looking at budgets and prepare for taxes. In New York State, we have to file sales tax information on the 20th, which is tomorrow. So guess what I'll be doing this afternoon? We're currently looking at Balanced Scorecards, and we had a look last week at some different templates, just going to Google and doing an image search. And this week we're going to continue that, and I'm going to just share my screen here. We're going to look at what goes into the Balanced Scorecard. So last week we did, like I said, a quick search. You can see there are many ways to do this. No one right way. Depends on the size of your organization, your style, and your level of design expertise. You can totally do this just with a spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be this fancy, but if you're reporting it to maybe some stakeholders or something, you might want it to look prettier. You can always go, just like I said, do this Google search, and you can see there are some simple ones, and then there's some very much more complicated, and basically you're driving the objectives from your mission, vision, and values through these four, and you may customize these, but these are the four that have to be represented in one way or the other, into how will you measure them, what are your targets for those going to be, and then your tactics, how are you going to achieve those. And you can see how this kind of parallels the priority matrix a little bit when you get into the tactics. You may want to insert timeframes on these. Your targets, make them SMART goals. And so now we're looking at what are we putting in here. Like I said, this could just be a spreadsheet with these, like I've started here. We have the four main buckets, and then our objectives, measures, targets, and then our indicators. And actually this is, I like to call them tactics. Sounds more operational and executable. And again, you don't have to make it your own. So one of the things that you can also do is just Google what is a key performance indicator and how to come up with them. And I like this one on optimizesmart.com. They are selling, aren't they? But they have a nice article here that's very simple on how to follow what is a key performance indicator. And then they also have this free Excel chart. I'm redoing my entire budget recording process, so I plan to share the template when I'm finished with this for Balanced Scorecard. But here's another thing that I've grabbed as a tool. I use QuickBooks for self-employment, and they have this wonderful template here for just income and expenses. And this is one thing that I need. So my point here is that your financials do not replace the Balanced Scorecard. The Balanced Scorecard is high level and for a quick view for the owners and top level management to see how you are performing. And if used right, and your targets are going in the right direction and you're completing the tactics you have associated, then you will, in theory, be succeeding and building a successful organization. That doesn't mean you can't still, or actually you need to continue to run your financials as far as daily operations. And so anyway, this, if you do use QuickBooks or something like it, there is this really nice template out there, and I will probably combine these two together, and that will complete my budget things. So that's pretty much what I had to say for today. And what the homework then is to, if you don't have a good solid set of KPIs, to do some research. I will share this article, figure out what your KPIs are, get them into your Balanced Scorecard, and we'll check in next week and do another update. We may do something about taxes. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thanks.